Good evening. I now call the East Lyme Zoning Commission special meeting of January 16th, 2024 to order at 6:30 p.m. Welcome to everyone. Can we now say the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And now for roll call. Nancy Kalal is here. Mr. Norm Peck is here. Mr. Mike Foley is here. Mr. Pivo is not present. Ms. Markovitz is not present. Mr. Peterson, would you please be seated? Ms. Susko is not here. We have with us tonight Mrs. Hardy, our ex officio, Mr. Mulholland, here, and Ms. LaRocco, and we have attorneys Marco with us also. Public delegations is the time when members of the public are invited to speak to the commission on subject matters that are not on the agenda.
That are on the agenda, Madam Chair, that was a typo.
Oh. So public delegations means that the public can speak about anything that is on the agenda.
That's correct. That's consistent with your bylaws.
And we have, because of the time limit constraint on this room, there will be a 2-minute limit for anyone to speak. Would anyone like to speak? Please, come to the podium and state your name and address.
I actually have two. Somebody asked me to read into the record something.
Your name first?
Oh, yeah, sorry. Michelle Maitland.
Okay.
That's Maitland, 6 Acorn Drive. So I'll just make my brief comment, which is I'm a member of the Democratic Town Committee, and as you know, Nancy, and a member of the Outreach Committee. And we had our caucus last Thursday night, which is standard, and the Republicans might have had theirs recently as well. And as part of there was comment about coming issues, and so I understood that tomorrow night there was going to be a vote by the Board of Selectmen, and that there was a zoning meeting Thursday. So I was very surprised and confused to hear about this special meeting tonight when there's a meeting Thursday. And this goes back to just my role as one of the outreach chairs, is because my interest in being an outreach chair is to increase engagement increase voter participation in town, and increase engagement in municipal operations and interest in town issues. There are so many conflicts and things that prevent people from getting involved already. Priorities, like kids, working, all that kind of thing. It's tough to follow things. You sometimes have to have a PhD to feel like you can understand something. And so I just respectfully asked that this body be more respectful of that, because I feel like my efforts are undermined when there are things that are that don't make sense to people. And so that's the end of my statement. When colleagues on the Democratic Town Committee learned that I was going to come tonight and complain about that, and I think it's very funny also that there was a typo on the agenda that expressly was opposite, because I also wasn't sure if I needed to rephrase my comments, because I wasn't, it's very unclear. Denise Markovitz and Gary Pivo asked if I could read this into the record. So they are two of the absent members of the committee, the zoning commission. So this is written by Denise Markovitz and Gary Pivo. We will not be attending the special meeting called for tonight because in our view, it cannot be justified under Robert's Rules of Order, which our bylaws require us to follow. We apologize to everyone who is inconvenienced by our decision. Special meetings are necessary when critical matters come up that must be dealt with quickly, but they can also be used improperly and unfairly to push through ill-advised or hurried decisions. That is why Section 913 of Robert's Rules of Order, newly revised 12th edition, RONRR, gives two specific reasons that justify a special meeting. The first reason is to deal with matters that arise between regular meetings and require action before the next regular meeting. But the 30 days allowed by the town charter for the zoning commission to fill the vacancy in question includes the regular meeting scheduled for this Thursday and the one after that. Therefore, action before the next regular meeting is not required. The second reason for calling a special meeting is to dedicate an entire session to a particular matter. And since an entire session, quote unquote, is the time required to go through an entire order of proceedings for a regular meeting, RONR 84, in parentheses, and vacancies never require more than a small part of a regular meeting, there is no need or justification for dedicating an entire session to this matter, especially when the agenda that's been circulated for this Thursday's regular meeting is virtually empty and this matter could easily be addressed under new business. Therefore, since there is no need to act before the next regular meeting, nor the need to devote an entire session to this matter, there is no justification for calling this meeting under Robert's Rules of Order. Given we will be absent, that Ms. Susko is out of town, and Mr. Foley is not a legal member of the commission under CGS Chapter 146-9, 221B, as discussed in another memorandum circulated to the commission, it seems there will be no quorum and any business transacted will be null and void under Section 46 of Robert's Rules of Order. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else?
Can everyone hear me all right? Okay, good. Nick Menapace, 38 Hope Street, Niantic. In the town of East Lyme, we have a town charter that has a lot of rules and laws for how the town and its government should operate. The original charter writers in East Lyme wanted townsfolk to participate in more direct democracy than surrounding towns. By making boards and commissions elected, they wanted the people to have more of a say in how the town is run. The Charter Revision Committee at no point seriously considered removing this commission from the list of elected boards and commissions. Maybe some of the members of this commission think that this commission should not be elected. Maybe they wish the election had gone a different way. Or maybe they just think that they know better than the voters. But elections matter. Elections have consequences. We had a free, fair, and legitimate and accurate election here in East Lyme. The voters spoke loudly and clearly, and as elected officials, it is your responsibility to uphold their will. When unsavory elected officials try to operate in the shadows and subvert the will of the people, they're practicing a form of voter suppression. We operate in an era of anti-democratic forces, and frankly, the calling of this meeting seems like a way to bypass democracy. Democracy, it seems, is something that you only want when you get what you want, or when it works for you. This meeting, to me, is you hiding from the voters of East Lyme because you could not accomplish your goals at the ballot box. Apparently some of you think that's hilarious because I'm seeing up there the smiles and the laughs before this meeting. And you don't want them to see you subvert democracy in East Lyme. I think trying to squeeze this meeting in the 20 minutes before another is just further proof that, come on, this is ridiculous. There is no way this thing could not be accomplished on Thursday at your regular meeting after the Board of Selectmen has chosen who the next alternate could be. That's all. Thank you.
Next, please.
Lisa McGowan, 33 Spinnaker. I just want to save the whales. I mean, I came to New London County The United States Coast Guard brought me here. I've been a taxpaying citizen of Newland County since 1982. I originally had come to the meeting here to support Marjorie Meekoff and her mission there. I was really disappointed a couple of weeks ago. That was the day before our Democratic election. I was reminded by some of our Democratic Town Committee people that there was going to be another special meeting. I was supposed to bank call for my town and my free elections. I missed that to be at this meeting. When Nick was gavelled down by Ann Thurlow and Debbie Jett Harris, I witnessed it. It was ugly. It was disgusting. And I sat by quietly listening. Then the next day I requested FOI information. I'm going to enter this into the record. I requested FOI information from, where is it? FOI request November 14th, 2023, Zoning Commission. Dear Ms. McGowan, this letter is to notify you that the results of phone requests for records of messages between the East Lyme Zoning Commission members concerning the filling of a vacancy left on the commission member when Terry Granitek resigned. I don't know who that person is. The commission members were emailed on November 16th, 2023, and asked to provide any messages between them regarding the above-mentioned vacancy. The responses to this office has received from the commission members indicating there are no such messages, the ex parte communications. You know what I'm talking about. You know what you do. Let's get real here. Please note that on November 16th, 2023, this office attempted to contact you via email, McGowan1@Alberta. They maybe got that wrong, but Albertus EDU, which is on my email address. I'm sure that a clever clerk could have added an S to Albertus Magnus, where I'm working on my graduate degree, at the address provided during their phone request. The email was returned undeliverable. Additionally, this office attempted to contact you via phone 860-287-4982 and left a message indicating the receipt of the request for information, as well as requesting a different email to be provided. Now, I do remember a phone call. I think the phone call went, yes, we got your request. When we queried people, they didn't respond, and that was all. And then I got this letter, William Mulholland, signed by William Mulholland, and that is, I don't know who that is. Is that you? Okay, so this is yours. So it's signed by you, is that correct? Is that your signature?
I don't know, ma'am, I'm over here, I can't.
Oh, do you want to look at it? Would you want to come up here?
Get over here.
Can we enter that into the record? We just want a nice town. I just want clean water for my grandchildren to swim in. We want bees in our yard, and this is really dirty pool. You know it. I feel like I have to be a one-eyed cat in a fish store to follow what's going on here. Okay, so thank you very much. And can we have this entered into the record? Who does that? Thank you so much. I'll be staying for the meeting. If you have one, thank you so much.
Is there anyone who'd like to speak? Yes, sir.
I just have some questions quickly. John Vilcek, 4 Meadow Street. There's an architect friend of mine, and I were here last week, and were interviewed for the position that was available, the alternate position. I'm wondering tonight, when you entertain the permanent position, I presume, if you're going to resurrect those candidates from last week, or do you have a list of candidates you're going to choose from that you have selected? That's all I have.
Thank you. Anyone else? Okay.
There's somebody else back here.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yes, thank you.
Good evening. Daniel Glenn, 103 Flanders Road. I'll do an abbreviated version of what I've written to be presented to the Board of Selectmen tomorrow night, since I only have 2 minutes. I understand Ms. Jett Harris has resigned, and this meeting is held to fill the full position of commission member, so I'd like to run for that. I've been a Niantic resident since 1958. I can actually remember when East Lyme was mostly woods. My grandfather and my father built about 24 houses in town, including 13 in Black Point. I attended the old Lily B. Haynes School, which was torn down to make way for the middle school. I graduated from the Rhode Island School of Design with a Bachelor of Fine Arts and a Bachelor of Architecture. In 1985, I became a licensed architect. I designed and built our house on Flanders Road in 1989. I worked for several architectural firms, including 19 years at Centerbrook Architects, which in 1998 was named the #1 architectural firm in the country by the American Institute of Architects. The first project I worked on in that office was the East Lyme Community Center. In 2009, I opened my own office working from my home. I am quite familiar with the zoning regulations because I use them every time I design a project in town. Skip ahead. My main purpose in running for the Zoning Commission is to ensure that the zoning regulations are enforced and that more discipline and oversight is exercised in the approval process. I want to help East Lyme to improve and to be a beautiful and caring place to live. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Is there anyone else who'd like to speak? Moving on. The election to fill commission vacancy for the seat of Ms. Jet Harris. Can I ask for a nomination?
Yeah, I would nominate Ann Thurlow to fill the presently vacant seat for the remainder of its term.
Thank you. Do I hear a second?
One second.
Any other nominations? Can I call for a vote, please?
That's for discussion first.
Oh, discussion?
Well, I mean, just so as not to say nothing at all, I think that Ms. Thurlow is the obvious choice. Next in line, as far as the voting went in November, she was only missed being reelected by about 40 votes. She is hardly what I would call a public repudiation, and that's the next candidate as far as the totals went. I mean, apart from the fact that she's both experienced and conscientious, I think it's a perfectly clear choice.
I'm in total agreement. Can we take a vote, please?
Excuse me, I can't hear you back here. Could you
Oh,
please
I'm
use
sorry.
your microphones, all four of you?
Oh.
Please, thank you. Sorry.
I'm sorry, can we take a vote, please?
I'll go in favor. In favor? Aye.
Sorry,
In
Madam Chair,
favor?
was there a second?
Yes.
Norm did a second.
Thank you.
Oh, sorry.
Aye.
So we have 4 ayes.
Any opposed?
Is anyone opposed? Motion carries 4-0.
I'd like to make a statement. I'm a bit taken back with some of the comments tonight. I've been sitting on this board since 1989. I've enjoyed the process. I have enjoyed the fact that this board has never been biased, never been very political except during elections, always been fair, no backroom decision-making. We follow the law. We've been guided by this gentleman back here, Bill Mulholland, who has done a great job. Not everybody loves him, but who loves the zoning guy? But I can assure you, fellow citizens, that this board has and is fair by the law, and we have no intention of getting political or hiding anything. We let people speak when the law allows them to speak. And
it hurts me a little bit when I hear these comments, because you give me a call, contact me, I'd be glad to speak to anyone individually and discuss anything. Thank you.
Ms. Thurlow, would you stand, please?
No, we can do that later. That's some point in the meeting.
If I may, Madam Chair. I'm assuming you're requesting that the oath be administered?
Yes.
Okay. Under your bylaws, the oath is not effective until it is recorded with the town clerk, who can also take the oath. I would suggest that Ms. Thurlow go to the town clerk's office tomorrow to do that, so that it can be done in one fell swoop.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay. Can I ask for a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Right.
Aye.
Motion passed. Meeting adjourned.